If you're joining us in reading this 6-day reading plan, today's reading is 1 Peter chapter 5, verses 7 through 14, and I encourage you to read that passage. Peter ends his first letter with a word of encouragement as well as a word of warning. The paragraph really begins in verse 6, and first we are to humble ourselves. So what does that humility really look like? Well, humility is the ability to look realistically at yourself. Those who cannot see themselves with flaws cannot be humble. Those who see themselves entirely useless also cannot be humble for precisely the same reason. We need to see ourselves as God sees us. We all have flaws. We all have failures. We have things in our lives that do not glorify God, and yet on the other hand, on occasion, we can do some pretty spectacular stuff. It is God who gives us that ability to do that. But we are still his agents, and he is glorified in what we do and how we do it. So we must realistically look at our failures, and we must realistically look at our successes and our triumphs. Well, in each case, Satan is going to try and capture us. If we look at ourselves as defeated beings, ones who have no value to God at all, then Satan has captured us in that we deny God's creation. If we look at ourselves as something spectacular, then we also deny our nature. In either case, Satan will seem to get the upper hand. So, we must humble ourselves. We must repent. We must view ourselves realistically. We need to know that at any moment we can fall into either pride or an undervaluing of those who we are. It is God who will strengthen us in the struggle that we have, but we have to allow him in. What's the easiest way to bring Christ into your life? It is to dwell on him. And how exactly do we do that? By getting to know him through the scriptures, by worshiping together, by prayer, and that way in both individually and corporately.